Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hadith session, Book of Dress. Doing Riyadus Salihin, the Book of Dress. So, etiquette of dressing. Preference of wearing white clothes and permission for the use of red, green, yellow, and black colors clothes of cotton, wool, and other varieties except silk. In Surah number 7, ayah number 26, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, Ya Bani Adama, Qad anzalna alaykum libasu yuwari sawatikum warisha wa libasu taqwa. Zalika khayrun. So Suratul Araf, this is mentioned. So, O children of Adam, we have revealed unto you raiment to conceal your shame and splendid vesture, but the raiment of restraint from evil, that is best. And also it's mentioned in Surah number 16, ayah number 81, and hath given you coats to ward off the heat from you and coats of armor to save you from your own foolhardiness. So let's see the hadith for this. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu reported, I heard Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, put on white clothes because they are the best, and use them for shrouding your dead. So not only it's good for us and also for shrouding the dead. So here, khayra siyabakum wa kafanu. Kafanu means for the shrouding dead body. Fiha mautakum, when a person is dead. So there is nothing wrong in wearing white, but people they signifies so many things, but Islam doesn't say so. Another hadith, Samura radiallahu anhu narrated, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, wear white clothes because they are purest and they are closest to modesty, and shroud the dead in it. So you can wear it also. And also libatu baid. Baid is for white. فَإِنَّهَا أَطْهَرُ وَأَطِيبُ وَكَفَنُ فِيهَا مَوْتِكُمْ. Not only we can dress white, and also they are closest to modesty and shroud the dead in it. This is in Nasai and Hakim. Bara radiallahu anhu reported, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was of medium stature, and I saw him wearing a red mantle. I have never seen anything more graceful than that. This is in Bukhari and Muslim. So what we learn from this hadith, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a medium stature and he was wearing a red mantle, and I have never seen anything more graceful than that. And also this is in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. Another hadith, this is a longer one. Abu Juhayfa Wahab bin Abdullah narrated, radiallahu anhu, reported, I saw Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by Al-Bata valley in Makkah in a red tent made from tanned skin. Bilal brought him ablution water. Then Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came out wearing a red mantle, and I can still remember looking at whiteness of his shanks. So he made his ablution and Bilal pronounced the call for prayer, azan. I kept following the movement of his Bilal, face to the right and to the left, when he recited, come to the prayer, come to the success. So here, Hayya al salah, Hayya al falah, then a spear was fixed as sutra in front of Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who then stepped forward and led the prayer. Dogs and donkeys passed in front of him beyond the spear, and no one prevented them from doing so. If in this hadith we learn, if somebody is passing in front of you, you could stop with your hand. Next hadith, in this Abu Rimta Rifa at-Taimi radiallahu anhu, I saw Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wearing two green garments. In the heading I mentioned before starting the hadith session in the starting. Jabir radiallahu anhu reported, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered Makkah on the day of its conquest, and he was wearing a black turban. So here what we see, Fatah Makkah walayhi amamati sauda, black color. So there is nothing wrong in wearing black too. Another hadith we learned, this is in Muslim and previously also it was in Muslim. Abu Sa'id Amr bin Hurayd radiallahu anhu reported, as if I am seeing Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wearing a black turban, both ends of it are falling over his shoulders. Another narration is Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was delivering a khutbah wearing a black turban. So this was the two hadith we see, like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was wearing black turban. Another hadith, this is in Bukhari and Muslim, and the narrator is Aisha radiallahu anha reported, the body of Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was shrouded in three white yamini cloth, cotton garments, among which was neither a gown nor a turban. Let me repeat again. So body of Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was shrouded in three white yamini cotton garments, among which was neither a gown nor a turban. Aisha radiallahu anha reported, one morning Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went out wearing a black blanket made of camel's or sheep's black hair with pattern of camel's bags upon it. This also okay. And here another hadith, it's a longer hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. Al-Mughira bin Shoba radiallahu anhu reported, I was with Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a journey one night. So he was with sallallahu alaihi wasallam on journey and he asked me, do you have any water with you? I said yes. So he dismounted from his riding camel and walked away to answer the call of nature. So he went to use the washroom until he disappeared in the darkness. When he returned, I poured out some water from a vessel and he washed his face. So finally he came out and he washed his face. He was wearing a long woolen cloak. What he was wearing? Long woolen cloak. And could not take out his forearms from his sleeves. It was wrapping around. He was not able to take out his forearm from his sleeves. So he brought them out from the below the cloak and then washed them. Then passed his wet hands over his head. I stretched out my hands to take off his khuf, his leather socks. But he said, leave them. I put them on after performing wudu, and he passed his wet hands over them. So what we learn from this, he was wearing one garment and he took out his hands and he did the wudu. While he was doing wudu, he wiped his hair, but what we learn here, he was wearing khuf, that leather socks. And he said, leave them. Because what Prophet ﷺ said, I put them on after performing wudu. After performing wudu, he put the leather socks. So he passed his wet hands over them. You understand? He just passed the wet hands over them. Another narration is Messenger of Allah ﷺ was wearing a Syrian cloak with tight sleeves. And another narration is the incident took place during the Battle of Tabuk. Salama radiallahu anha reported, out of all garments, Messenger of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam like khamis the best. That big garment on the upper part we wear. Asma bin Yazid radiallahu anha reported the khamis sleeves of Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam reached down to his wrists. Usually how the sleeves will be that way. This is in Abu Dawood and Tirmidhi. Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu reported, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever allow his lower garment to drag out of vanity, showing off, that kind of thing, will find that Allah will not look at him on the day of resurrection. On this, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu submitted, O Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, my lower garment keeps sliding down, though I take care to pull it and wrap it. Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, You are not of those who do it out of vanity. You understand? It's quite big, and he is not doing out of vanity or show off. So he asked Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, is it okay? Like it's falling down, but I'm not doing it deliberately. Is it okay? So he said, that's okay. You are not those of who do it out of vanity. So what we learn from this, who are doing deliberately. So many sisters they ask this question, like they are wearing jilbab or abaya, and it's very long. So is it okay, or what they should do? So here they got the answer. So they should hold it in your hand, but that's okay as far as you are not doing for the vanity or show off. Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu reported, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, on the day of resurrection, Allah will not look at him who trails his lower garment out of pride. What we learn in this, who deliberately trailing the lower garment out of pride. Some people they have this trailing thing and somebody is holding, and that for the pride. It's not allowed for that pride. لا ينظر الله يوم القيامة إلى من جرى إزار Bataran. Bataran is like, showing off and doing the pride and so on and so forth. That is not allowed. So you should understand. La yanzuru, Allah will not look at them on the Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the day of Qiyamah. Ila min jara izar batara. Izar is the lower garment which we are wearing. That's what it talks about. Another hadith, Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu reported, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what is the below the ankle of a lower garment is condemned to the fire of hell. So here, this is in Bukhari. Another hadith, Abu Zar radiallahu anhu reported, I heard Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, there are three to whom Allah will neither speak on the day of resurrection nor will look at them, nor purify them of their sins. They will be severely tormented. When he repeated this statement thrice, Abu Zar radiallahu anhu said, they are the doomed and destroyed. But who are they? They ask, who are they? O Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, one whose lower garment is trails. Who is that person? Their lower garment is trailing. That is the one he's talking about. And what is the another thing we learn in this? One who boasts of kindness shown to another, and the one who promotes sale of his business by taking false oaths. So try to understand. The first one is one who lower garment trails, and the another one is one who boasts of kindness. To everyone you are showing, I'm so kind-hearted, I'm so soft person. You don't have to show off to anyone. If you are kind-hearted, everybody knows. First of all, Allah knows about it. And the third thing, one who promotes sale of his business by taking false oaths. What do you mean by false oaths? You are promoting your business and you are saying the things which is not actually it don't have that quality, but you are just lying. Just you are saying for the sake of saying. So that is also not allowed. Another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, on the day of resurrection, Allah will not look at one who trails his lower garment. And this was narrated by Ibn Umar, Khamis or turban arrogantly. This is in Abu Dawood and An-Nasai. Abu Juray Jabir bin Sulaim radiallahu anhu narrated, I noticed a man whose opinion was followed by everybody. No one acted contrary to what he said. I asked who he was, and I was informed that he was Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I said to him twice, Al-Qas Salam Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Render your say. He said, do not say Al-Aikas Salamu. This is the salutation of the dead in Jahaliya times. Say instead Assalamu alaikum. May Allah render you safe. I asked, are you a messenger of Allah? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He replied, yes, I am the messenger of Allah. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who will remove your affliction when you are in trouble and call to him, who will cause food to grow for you when you are famine striken and call to him, and who will restore to you your lost riding beast in the desert. When you call upon him, I said to him, give me instruction to act upon. He Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, do not abuse anyone. Since then I have never abused anyone, neither a free man, nor a slave, nor a camel, nor a sheep. He continued, do not hold in contempt even an insignificant act of goodness, because even talking to your brother with cheerful countenance is an act of goodness. Hold up your lower garment halfway to the leg, and at least above the ankles, for trailing it is arrogance. And Allah dislikes pride. And if a man imputes to you of bad things he knows you possess, do not impute to him bad things that you know he has, for he will assume the evil consequence of his abuse. This is in Abu Dawud and Tirmidhi. It's a longer hadith. What we learn from this, first of all, he didn't know about Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When he asked and he said, yes, I am messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And he said, I can, who will remove affliction and food to grow and all those things. So on that he said, give me instruction. So he asked, give me instruction to act upon. He Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, don't abuse anyone. So first instruction was, since then I have never abused. So who is saying that I have never abused? Look at this hadith. This is talking about Abu Jurayya Jabir bin Sulaim. Abu Juray Jabir bin Sulaim. So after that, he says he never abused anyone. And the second thing he said, neither a free man nor a slave nor a camel nor a sheep, not to abuse anyone, whether a person, slave, camel, sheep, means even for the animal. Then he continued, do not hold in contempt even an insignificant act of goodness, because even talking to your brother with a cheerful countenance is an act of goodness. Do not belittle a small act of goodness. Even talking to your brother with a cheerful face is an act of goodness. Sometimes we ignore that. We think our life is so busy, we can't give time. No, take out time. Small good deeds collectively make a big deed, right? And the next thing, hold up your lower garment halfway to the leg. So many times we ask our garments, like, it's very long, it's trailing on the floor. You can hold it. What we learn from this hadith, hold up your lower garment halfway to the leg and at least above the ankles. For trailing it is arrogance. So we don't want that trail, right? It's arrogance. And I also notice many times when you walk on the accelerator, it's written not to trail your garments. Many accidents do happen. It will go inside it and accidents may happen. I'm just giving an example. But what Sunnah says, like not to trail, because it's arrogance and Allah dislikes arrogance. Allah dislikes pride. So we shouldn't do arrogance. We shouldn't trail our clothes on the floor. You can hold it lower garment halfway to the ankles or to the leg. But remember, if you are wearing something underneath, it's not like you are wearing long gown and inside already you are wearing your pants and or whatever the lower garment, skirt or anything. It doesn't mean like halfway through the knee or the ankles. It doesn't mean you're going to show that. Especially talking about the woman, halfway to the leg and about the ankles. Ankles is for the men's, they can show. For the women, no way. For trailing, it's arrogance, and Allah dislikes pride. So whatever the, like, if you are wearing long gowns, abaya, jilbab or long gowns, you can hold up your lower garment halfway to the leg, but not showing your leg. Of course, you are covering yourself with pants and at least above the ankles. That's allowed if you are wearing something underneath. And if a man imputes to you of bad things he knows you possess, do not impute to him bad things that you know he has, for he will assume the evil consequence of the abuse. And the next hadith, Abu Huraira narrated this hadith. Reported, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to a man who was performing salah while his lower garment was trailing, "Go and perform your wudu again." That man went and came back having performed it. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said again, "Go and perform your wudu." Someone present said to Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "O Messenger of Allah, you asked him to perform his wudu. Then you kept silent without saying the reason for it." He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said he performed salah while his lower garment was below his ankles. You understand? Allah does not accept salat of a man who trails his lower garment. You understand? Like why he said to repeat this? Because he performed salat while his lower garment was below his ankles. So many people they argue about this, men especially, they showing the ankles. Here we have this is in Abu Dawood to show the ankles. Allah does not accept salat of a man who trails his lower garment. So you shouldn't trail it. You can show the ankles. This is for the men. But what happens these days? Women are showing the ankles instead of men. They are misunderstanding the things and they are thinking women can show the ankles. There is no way they can show the ankles for the non-mahram, and especially in the marketplace, in the masjid and so on and so forth. This is a misunderstanding. They are doing just for the sake of, fashion. Fashion comes and goes, but what lasts long? What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us. So this was the hadith we did till here, and inshallah rest of the hadith we did till hadith number 19, and we are doing Riyadus Salihin, and in this we covered about book of dress. Jazakallah khairan kasira.